locales, and also my guiris. Guiris are foreigners, so I'm a guiri as well, and that is the word in Spain for tourists or foreigners. So you will be henceforth my guiris. Okay? Bien. Entonces, so today what we're going to talk about is the possessive adjectives in Spanish. So we want to be able to talk about my friend, um, our parents, any of these things where we have possession. So we're going to jump into that ahora mismo, right now. Muy bien. Entonces, so what we're going to talk about, as I said, are going to be the possessive adjectives. Now, it's not so important that you know what everything is called, okay? It's helpful to know what a possessive adjective is. The most important thing, obviously, is using it and applying it correctly. But if you want to learn, okay, this is a possessive adjective, it just kind of helps you keep things straight in your mind. But it is not imperative that you do that. So we're going to start off with some of the basic ones. So if we say, for example, me, that means my. Now in Spanish, we have a plural one. Why? Because everything in Spanish has to do with masculine, feminine, singular, plural. We don't do that in English, pero en español sí que lo hacemos. So, for example, for my, we have two words. We have me and mis. Okay? Let's look at an example. So we could say my cat, mi gato. Okay? And then we could also, let's say I have many homes, mis casas. Okay? So when our noun is plural, so then must our possessive adjective be plural to agree with it. Remember, everything is about masculine, plural, singular, masculine, feminine, singular, plural. So our first set would be me and mis. And then we have tu, okay? Notice the tu does not have an accent mark. That's not an accident. I didn't forget to put it. I will remind you why that is important in a minute. But tu would be your. And tus would be the plural of that, also meaning your, but it goes with a plural noun. So let's say, for example, I want to say your mom, tu madre. Okay? Maybe I want to say your parents, tus padres. So we've got two for the singular and the plural. Now, as I said, accent marks, tildes, are super importante en español. ¿Por qué? Because if you don't put the accent mark correctly, it changes the whole meaning of the word. Let's look at an example. When we have the word tú with an accent mark, with a tilde, it means you. However, tú without the accent mark means your. So, los acentos, los tildes son bien importantes, especially when writing so people know what you're saying. When speaking, how will you know? Context. You're not going to say you mother, you're going to say your mother. Okay? But son cosas importantes que tenemos que saber. Vale. Entonces, then we have the word su. Su can mean many things. It can mean his, it can mean her, like his father, her mother. It can also mean your, but formal. Remember, usted we use for formal things. Let's look at an example of how this would work. So I want to say his mom, okay, I'm going to put it over here. His mom is pretty. Su madre es bonita. Notice how the adjective bonito, we change to bonita to make it agree with madre because it's feminine. Now, su madre es bonita could also refer to his or her. How will you know? Based on context. Context, practice. ¿Vale? Entonces, if I want to be polite using usted with someone, maybe I'm talking to my boss whose mother comes in and I want to say, oh, su madre es bonita. Again, context here and what is actually going on at the moment. So with all of these, me, mis, tu, tus, su, and we've got a plural one, sus. Okay, why do we have that plural one? Because maybe our noun will be plural. Okay, sus. So all of these agree in number, but not gender. Okay, but if our noun is singular, we use me. If it's plural, mis. Singular tu, plural tus, etc. ¿Vale? Now, this takes care of some of them, but it does not take care of all of them that there are in Spanish. But we've got mi, mis, tu, tus, sus. Now we're going to talk about the plurals of those and what they would be. Okay, so we're going to do that here. Now, what if we want to say our? Okay, so for our, we have four forms. We have nuestro, nuestra, nuestros, and nuestras. Why do we have four? Well, because this particular one, our, has a masculine, a feminine, a singular, and a plural. Let's look at that. So we want to say our house. Nuestra casa ends in a. Nuestra casa. Okay? Let's say we have our friends. Nuestros amigos. So this particular set, okay, and I'm going to highlight it here a bit. This particular set agrees not only in number, but in gender as well. Okay? So then, if we are in Spain with the vosotros and we want to talk to a group of people who are of our same level, same age, same stage of life, we also have four, which would be vuestro, vuestra, vuestros. Oh, I got a little typo here. Vuestra. Vale. And then we have vuestros, vuestras. Wait a second. I'm not getting what this has to do with anything. Again, you are addressing a group of people. Maybe you are with a group of friends in Spain and you're talking to a group of your friends. It's you addressing a plural group of people and you want to say your. Okay? So for example, you're talking to your friends and you want to say, your bus, okay? Vuestro autobús, or we could just say bus, vuestro autobús. Say, hey guys, your bus is leaving now. Vuestro autobús. Likewise, if it was something feminine, maybe you're talking to a couple of twins and you want to say your mom is here. Vuestra madre está aquí. Okay? So when do we use vuestro, vuestra, vuestros, vuestras? When you are alone addressing a group of people, which you would use an informal way of speaking. Okay? And then finally, there's a plural that we have already seen, but I put it with the plural ones. We have su can also mean there. and there's a plural as well, sus, like we've already talked about. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully everything has been clear, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to summarize it all really quickly. I wanted you to see the examples, and then I will put in a table that shows you what they all look like, and then add the rules that go with that, just to make it a little bit more clear of what we're doing, what we're talking about. And it's kind of like a resumen of everything that we have just talked about. So let's look at that. So remember, when we do the possessive adjectives, we've got me and mis. Okay, and we've got, un segundín. Vale. So that would be one set. Then we've got tu and tus, my, your. Then we want to say his, her, su, and sus. These are our singular ones, vale? And then on the right-hand side, un segundín. Dame un segundo. Vale. Okay, so then on the plural of all of these would be nuestro, nuestra, nuestros, nuestras, okay? And then we've got the plural of the informal you, which I'm not going to type all these out, but vuestro, vuestra, vuestros, vuestras, okay? And then if we want to say there, we're going to use, perdona, un segundo. We've also got su and sus. Again, how will you know? Context. And then to review the rules of how these function, remember, possessive adjectives agree in number with the noun, okay? So if our noun is plural, we add an S. If it's not plural, we do not add it. But then we also have to remember that nuestro, nuestra, vuestro, vuestra, all of those 8 forms, well, we're going to say nuestro, etc., okay? Nuestros, nuestras, as well as vuestro, vuestros, vuestra, vuestras, agree in gender as well. Okay, all of them agree in number, but nuestro, vuestro, and all of its cousins, they all agree with the noun and gender. In number and gender, perdón. Okay, un segundín. Vale, so I really hope this was helpful. I hope you understand it. We're going to do some practice now. And if you like this video, if you found it helpful, please give me a like. Okay, and a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Gracias. Hasta